would publish them. And it was Cardinal Ciappi who said in the third secret of Fatima, it is revealed, among other things, that the great apostasy in the church will begin at the top. At first glance, someone might look at the gospel where our Lord said, upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell will never prevail against it. It is all too easy for someone to get the idea that the apostasy cannot begin with the Pope. It cannot culminate, it cannot be consummated under a Pope. That's impossible. If that were to happen, then the gates of hell would prevail against the church. So how can it begin with a Pope? It can begin with the Pope who convokes an ecumenical council and says we will not condemn any doctrines. In the previous councils, when doctrine is infallibly defined, the contrary errors are condemned infallibly. That's to safeguard the faith of the Catholic people throughout the world, so they will know what the Church is teaching and what the Church condemns. That which is of the Catholic faith and that which is contrary to the Catholic faith. John the 23rd convoked the Second Vatican Council. And he said this will be a pastoral council. And this pastoral council is not going to define any doctrines. When he was elected, he said he was never going to exercise the power of infallibility. And so when he called the council, he said, it will be a pastoral council. This is not a council that will be defining doctrine. John the 23rd died. It is reported that as he died, he was saying, stop the council, stop the council. He called over Cardinal John Hindang, the Archbishop of Westminster, and he asked the advice of Cardinal Hindang about the Second Vatican Council. He said, Your Eminence, is there some way we can call this off gracefully? However, he died, and in his place, in a very anomalous manner, was elected Pope Paul VI. Paul VI forged ahead with the Second Vatican Council. John the 23rd had opened the third secret of Fatima and read it, and I know from inside sources, and this has also subsequently been published, that when John the 23rd opened the third secret, he turned white and nearly fainted. He did not like the contents of the third secret of Fatima, and we know from Cardinal Ratzinger, who revealed it to his closest friends, one, Dr. Ingo Dollinger, who is, I think, about 95 or so years old, 95, 96 years old, the spiritual son of Padre Pio. He went to St. Pio to confession 58 times, a saintly priest, and a very close personal friend of Pope Benedict XVI for many decades. So as a cardinal, Joseph Ratzinger revealed some details of the third secret to Dr. Dollinger and to his personal secretary at the time, Father Karl Clemens, who has since become Archbishop Karl Clemens. And they both spoke of the words of Our Lady in the third secret, foretelling and warning about the evil counsel. Remember, Our Lady told Sister Lucy, and she wrote on the envelope containing the secret, that it should be revealed in 1960. Well, St. Thomas Aquinas explains that God gives the grace of prophecy not to reveal new teachings, but for the practical purpose of instructing us on what we must do They give us warning about our concrete times in which we live. 1960 was the date when that secret should be opened and published to the world. That secret warns about the evil counsel. And it was at that time, 1959, that John the 23rd announced that he wanted to call for a council. He announced that there would be the council, and in 1962 the Second Vatican Council opened its first session in October of 62. What Father Yves Congar, later Cardinal Yves Congar, described as the Church's quiet October Revolution. What Cardinal Sunens described as the French Revolution in the Church. These are the words that these men used to describe the Second Vatican Council. Our Lady warned about an evil council, and she warned not to make alterations in the Mass. That there should not be alien elements mixed into the liturgy. Remember that it is the teaching of the Church, as Pius XI explained. The duty of the Pope is to safeguard and preserve the liturgy. The liturgy must be an explicit profession of faith, as Pope Pius XII teaches. The first teaching we ever received from the Church about